to Markham Perspectives. I'm your host, Michael Taylor, and let me just say this. We had a special guest to come into our studios, Madam President Toni Preckwinkle, President of the Cook County Board. She got a chance to stop by the Markham studios and spend some time with Mayor Roger Akpawa. They talked about different projects, the partnership between Cook County and the city of Markham, the water main project, the resurfacing project, the Green Alley project, and what a time we had. Now, for those of you that are tuning in, 2026 is going to be the year that we continue to bring you great guests. We're going to bring you fun. We're going to bring you excitement. We're going to travel around the city of Markham, and we're going to talk to business leaders. We're going to talk to stakeholders, community events. We're going to have some fun, but we're going to kick it off right now. Let's listen in to this interview with Cook County President Toni Preckwinkle and the Mayor of the city of Markham, Mayor Roger Akpawa. Let's listen in.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you from the city of Markham. We have a very great guest with us, honored guest here from Cook County, our Cook County Board President.
Thank you, Mayor.
Toni Preckwinkle. We are so glad to have you here. You've done so much for Cook County, and definitely we're going to talk about some things that you've done for us here in Markham. And we have definitely here in Markham watched you for many years in government, and we appreciate you. And we have seen the attributes of all that you've done here for us. So we're really glad about it. And we're going to talk about that today, all of what you've done in Cook County and certainly here locally. Markham is connected. We're connected to 6 border towns that equally have shared the great things that you've done in Cook County. And we all have benefited from that in the Southland. So we're really glad to have you here. And let's talk about that today.
Well, Markham is important to the county. It's one of our courthouses is in Markham, of course. And as county board president, I've put a lot of emphasis on trying to invest in the Southland. Because as we looked across the county, the areas that had been most marginalized and challenged were in the Southland. And so this is an area where we've concentrated resources and attention. And I'm grateful to have a partner in you in working to make our community stronger.
Well, you know, one of the things you're so right. Over the years, there's been a lot of wear and tear on infrastructure. You know, our roads and highways and local roads and that. And we have seen the work here in the Southland of the infrastructure and the various roads and the different things that have improved and have needed that improvement. And we have seen the county workers in many, many places where they have maintained that. And the workforce that you've put out there throughout the county has really been diligent about doing things. And the improvements have been vast, and we have needed those different connections to our other neighbors with the infrastructures that have taken place. Here in Markham, we just have been very huge benefactors of sidewalk programs. I mean, oh my goodness. You know, sometimes you don't know how important something like that is. Of course, when you have local residents telling you that, you know, the sidewalk's buckling and you have to have the dollars to be able to do that. And we've been fortunate to have the county to be a great partner in helping us get over those hurdles with grants. So that's been great.
Well, thank you. Some of our most important investments are in infrastructure.
Well, we've seen hydrant replacement programs that have taken old hydrants that just haven't worked, and you know, water improvement, sewage, and different things that we've been able to you know, really maintain much better after we get the new replacements in place. And it means so much because those things are very costly. It costs a lot more than what the local tax dollar can do. And so when you have a county partner like yourself and all the commissioners, it means so much.
Well, thank you. We've been very grateful to work with you. And as I said, you know, the county can't do its work without local partnerships. So.
Yeah. So, you know, let's talk about a few of those things. I want to mention specifically, if you don't mind, you know, one of the things that we really have liked this latest thing with invest in and build up Cook, you know, and that has been For us locally, one of the things that we're going to do is it's going to help us expand different things in our building to be able to better service locally our community. We're going to expand our building operations, inspection operations, being able to take an older building and build it out, take an existing facility, and it'll provide a better service for the community. And what does that do? Of course, I don't have to tell you in government, if you have efficiency, it saves money.
Right.
You know, that means a lot to taxpayers.
Taxpayers.
That's what they expect. And we know that sometimes it's kind of touchy to say, hey, this is like running a business, but it is like running a business, and residents don't want to be treated that way all the time. They want that, at-home feeling. Well, we still try to do that and still make it business as best we can, and that means so much to be able to do that. So we've seen some of these things as far as our roadways. We did a major in a residential subdivision in town. We improved a street that, my goodness, it probably hadn't been done in about 20, 25 years, and it just really was taking a beating. And just to be able to have your agency and the county officials and yourself to really help us in those areas, it meant the world. And my goodness, to have all the residents to come out, just to have a street fixed is a big deal in a small town.
Right.
And every little dollar counts. And so, when you have a county that, and Cook County is is it the second largest?
It's the second largest county in the country after Los Angeles.
Oh my goodness. So, well, we're part of something big.
There you go.
And
You
so
surely are.
we really like that, as they say sometimes, it's good to be able to put name and face, and then you're able to get actually to have you here. So we see when you send the check, so it's good to see you. So we appreciate that. But one of the things that has been a big item everywhere are lead service lines.
Right.
And my goodness, that's another thing that has been decades and decades of, having that type of infrastructure. But the cost of trying to remove those things out is just so much. So that's another big matter for us. That I do like the fact that the county has been innovative with EV charging. And that's the wave of the future. I'm glad that that's going to be something that's going to happen here for us. And of course, we do like being right next to the court building. We like having you right there. It makes us, we're pretty fortunate to have our township building, but we feel even better about having our county court building there, and some of the officers there, and definitely all the services over there. And so we've been pretty fortunate. Actually, I've been around long enough to watch it get built.
Okay.
So how about that?
Let me talk a little bit about Invest in Cook and Build Up Cook. Invest in Cook is our infrastructure program that's really focused on roadways and, as you say, pedestrian walkways.
Yes.
And you've gotten a lot of help from our Invest in Cook program, but we've also been able to support you with our Build Up Cook program.
Yes.
And that's the lead service lines that you talked about.
Right.
There's no amount of lead that's safe for children.
Oh, wow.
And all over Cook County, we have lead water service lines, and we've got to invest in replacing them. And so we're grateful to work with you to do that in Markham. That's really important. We've also done some climate resiliency work with you. I know there's some flooding issues. And,
Yes.
and so that's another part of our Build Up Cook program. It's not just water service, but it's dealing with flood mitigation as well.
Yeah.
So.
We've got two areas where the Invest in Cook and Build Up Cook has really helped to the future, and at the tune of millions of dollars, to where it's going to take away combined sewers and storm drains and separate them, and as they should be, instead of having them, which I guess after years you find out that those kind of things are against code.
Mayor, I just want to share, some of the good work that the county is doing around health care. We've got a $10.1 billion budget. Half of it is health care. Half of it is health care.
Wow.
And historically, we provided care, but now we also insure people. We provide health insurance under the Medicaid program, County Care, which you hopefully have heard of.
Yes, yes.
And we have 400,000 people, almost 400,000 people in Cook County enrolled in County Care. And it's the highest rated Medicaid managed care plan in the state. And again, almost 400,000 people. So we not only provide direct care, but we insure people. And so we've taken on both those roles, and it's been a benefit to the people in Cook County. Because people enrolled in our Medicaid managed care plan, county care can get their care anywhere. They can go to any hospital, any neighborhood clinic,
Really?
and be served.
Wow.
We're also focused on trying to help people with medical debt. Medical debt is the main reason people in this country become bankrupt,
Yes.
go into bankruptcy. And we have eliminated medical debt for 600,000 Cook County residents. That's more than 10% of the population. Wiped out $800 million in debt.
Wow.
So we work with Undo Medical Debt, which is a not-for-profit that does this work around the country. And hospital systems sell their debt to undo medical debt, and then we just wipe it out. So usually they would sell it to a collection agency, and they would harass people and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But we buy it instead, and then just send people letters saying your medical debt is wiped out. And when you have medical debt, you're less likely to seek medical care, and of course that means that when you finally do get the care, the challenge that you have is more advanced and more difficult to deal with. And it also impacts your credit score if you have medical debt. So it's both a financial burden and a disincentive to get more medical care. So we're very grateful to the Board of Commissioners and our partner Undo Medical Debt for working with us, again, to eliminate 600,000 folks' medical debt and to the tune of $800 million.
That is just, that's amazing to hear. And, it just really shows county government at work and us locally being able to benefit from it, here in Markham, of course, but then our neighbors. And it makes them stronger as a result of that. It's one thing to be able to go to seek medical treatment, and it's another to be able to do it comfortably and to have a clear mind to go do it without the weight of debt and things like that, and having some care, knowing that there's some additional support that the county would provide. That is awesome. That is just amazing. I don't know, is that anywhere else in the country that they're doing it
we were
like
the
that?
We were the first government entity to work with this not-for-profit Undo Medical Debt. They had worked with philanthropy elsewhere in the country, but we were the first government. We're not the only one now, but we were the first.
Wow, we're putting you're putting some the Medicare people you're making them, showing them up is what you're doing. So, Madam President, if I could,
Sure.
I really would like to kind of go through a little bit of a scorecard with some of the Markham viewers and others. Markham has been a great benefactor, like I said earlier, of so many good programs. And let me just mention them by number. I think that's important, that we know where those tax dollars are really benefiting us. And it's been a great thing that's happened. One of the things that I was excited about was this Green Alley program that we got involved with drainage. We had alleys that had not been draining for years and years, and it really eroded many other things as a result of it. And I called it like the cobblestone highway. So it was just so kind of cool to see it. It's like, my goodness, this looks so nice. But underneath all that, it really served a strong purpose of the way that surface takes away that water and drainage and gets it away, and it will maintain for many years to come. So that program was, a few $100,000 to do, $200,000 just for that. Then we had a drainage study that helped a couple of different subdivisions here in Markham. That was a couple $100,000 just alone. People don't realize how much those things cost. And what it costed for us to try and pay engineers to do that is just a lot of money for us locally to be able to handle. But two major things that have happened. One of the subdivisions here in town that I mentioned a little earlier about combined water and sewer, I lived in that subdivision from a child. In fact, a good friend that works at the county, he used to live in that area too, one of my friends that works in your office. And we both know what it was like to have flooding in our area for many years. So $700,000 plus has been spent to improve that. And then, we had another area similar that we're going to see those things go away. And I think that the residents, I know they're elated. There's people who have lived here their whole life, and they're finally going to see some relief. as a result of good work from yourself and the commissioners. You all are doing a great job, President. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you. You mentioned the number of projects that mitigate floods. Just regular asphalt streets and alleys have a lot of runoff.
Right.
But the permeable alleys, soak up the moisture.
Wow.
So it's not, running off into people's yards
Right.
and contributing to flooding in the community. One of the things that we've done as a result of the pandemic, where we saw, just a tremendous impact on people's mental health, is invest in behavioral health services in our health and hospital system. So we now have a Department of Behavioral Health, and not only do they provide direct services, we always took care of physical health, but we didn't have a very healthy behavioral health footprint. And we've done a lot to try to amp up our work in that area, and also to support community-based organizations that work around behavioral health in the community. So I'm very grateful to Dr. Nutter and his team, his behavioral health team in our health and hospital system, and grateful for the grants that they've given around the county to organizations that focus on behavioral health. Because particularly in the pandemic, we saw lots of people who were struggling with anxiety and depression, and it was very clear to us that we needed to step into this arena and do more.
Well, I excuse me, that is absolutely excellent. I know for many years myself, I worked as a first responder, and seeing it now, that's so important to have it. I don't think that I've seen that in many years. I think the pandemic really did bring out a lot of things that we didn't see, and that more so than anything really came out of that. And I think that the county being able to do that and you coming up with that is so important to help people's lives along. Because that area is more than I've seen in many, many years. And like I said, it's really good that the county's stepped up again. Again, you all have stepped up, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. So, Madam President, the Southland, as I mentioned earlier, you're dear to us.
Thank you.
Here at South Cook County. You've definitely shown us what you believe here in Cook County is needed. And the South Suburban Mayors and Managers recently acknowledged you for that you have championed so much for us here in the Southland with an award. So tell us what you think about that, because I know what we think, but to hear it firsthand.
Thank you. South Suburban Mayors and Managers is a strong organization representing the Southland. And in June last year, I was awarded Champion of the Southland Award, and I'm very grateful for it. I put a lot of focus on trying to support communities in the Southland and provide services, because I know this is a part of the county that's been marginalized and neglected for a very long time. So we're doing the best we can to compensate for decades of neglect and put investments and resources into the Southland.
Well, that's what makes you who you are as our president. And one of the things that, as we go into Black History Month, I want to just mention something that we intend to do here in Markham. You've been very vocal about and very open and honest about the only way you can fix something is to acknowledge it and say it exists. You can't ignore it and work around it. You haven't done that. You said there was an issue in the Southland, and you took it head on. And as you being, as far as we're concerned here in the Southland, we're partial to you by far. You've been on the Cook County Board, and you've created a lot of history. And we have here in the city of Markham a big Black History display, and we intend to display you.
Well, thank you.
That's our intent, and we're going to make a lot of noise about you this month, and you'll hear about it. And if you are able to circle back, we'd like you to come and just wave. I know you have a busy schedule, so we are conscious of your time, but we're going to make some noise whether you're here or not.
Thank you.
But we are very proud of you in Black History, what you have been to Cook County and that board, and certainly here in the city of Markham, and we will have a display of you in our display of Black History people and history for here in the city of Markham and across the country.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. I'm
Thank
grateful.
you. All right.